One of the most common things that I get from you guys and the Siege community is that they are stuck in a rank that they can't get out of. And I feel like that's not very out of the ordinary for most of us. Rank can get frustrating and it's almost easy to get into ruts like that. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys a couple things you can do when you're stuck in a rank. Before we get started, thanks again for coming to the video, and if you do learn something, make sure you hit that like button. Also, we are on our road for 1,000 subscribers, and that would make me so happy just to get it. So if you guys want to help out, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, because we also do live stream on this channel playing Siege almost every day. So you guys are gonna want to be a part of that. Come say what up. You can talk to me personally. And the very last thing would be to go ahead and check out that Discord link in the description. All you have to do is click on it if you have Discord installed, and you'll instantly be put into our Discord, where we have a couple people that look for players, and maybe you might find some friends or some groups to squad up with. So I've thought up of 5 rules and tips that could help you guys out while you're stuck in a rank, and the last one being the very most important one, so make sure you guys stick around for that one. And today's comment question of the day is, how did your season go in Siege? What did you get placed at? What is your highest rank? What did you want to get? Go ahead and go into the comments and let me know down below. I'll be answering every single comment. All right, but let's get started with the very first rule for trying to get unstuck, and that would be finding a squad. Now, I know I don't have to tell a lot of you guys how crazy solo queue can be and how you can get some very interesting teammates while you play. So first things first, you guys got to try and find a squad. What I recommend is using social media, stuff like Twitter, Instagram, Discord, anything like that. That'll help you find some people that are serious about their gameplay. And now I say serious about their gameplay because that's also something that's really important too. Just because you're squatting with someone doesn't exactly mean that you guys are gonna win or better off. Most of the time it does, but you're gonna want to find someone that takes the game as seriously as you do. So you don't have to try and find the best person who has the most incredible shot or all that stuff, which would be nice, obviously. But the most important thing is to have someone that you know wants to win and takes the game seriously when you're playing. That's more important than any gun skill or any game knowledge they might have. And I've been told countless times that in order to take your gameplay to the next level and hit those really high ranks, you're gonna need a coordinated team. So you might as well start acting like that now. So try and find a serious squad, and I'm sure you guys will be able to pull yourself into a better rank. Okay, so the next tip is a ranked strategy, really. And that would be take a break after losing too many games. Now, I personally don't always follow this method, and I'm sure you guys can attest to that if you've ever came to my streams. But it really is a big deal in terms of preserving your rank and trying to take the off days and minimize them. Meaning if you lose 3 or 4 games in a row, you have to take a break. You don't have to stop playing Siege, but you should stop playing ranked. There's clearly something off with your gameplay or your luck, really, and you might want to just take a break from it and try and reset. You could eventually fall into a pit of loss after loss and getting more frustrated after each one, causing your gameplay to get worse. So after a couple L's, go ahead, play some Minecraft or switch to Call of Duty, something like that, and try and calm yourself down before you get into another ranked session. All right, so tip number 3 is more of a gameplay tip. And I know it might be a little annoying for me to say, but I really put this in high regard, so it had to make this list right now. And that would be to warm up before you play. And I know that's kind of annoying, but I'm telling you, it really is such a big deal to do that. I can't tell you how many times I've rushed into a rank just because I was too impatient to get into the gameplay, and my skills were horrible. I was not warm, my gunshots were off, my wrist wasn't warmed up. It was a disaster, and it has been a disaster. It's a recurring thing. It happens multiple times. You're gonna wanna warm up at least a little bit before you play. It's a huge deal in terms of your own personal gameplay. So throw in a couple terrorist hunts, get a quick play in, playing unranked if you're really willing to do that. I think that's a really good method. Might take up a little bit more time, but at the end of the day, you're gonna make all of those mistakes in a game mode that doesn't matter. And that's what you want. You want the mistakes to be done when they don't matter, so that when you get into the rank, you're already fresh from that. You know what I mean? Something like that. So make sure you're warming up before you play. Okay, now the 4th one is very important too. When a lot of people tell me that they're stuck in a rank, they tend to say that it's because of their team or their lack of communication, something pretty much wrong with their teammates, and they don't really look within. Now, that's not to say that you're essentially doing something wrong or you're playing bad, but we always have room to improve in every aspect of our gameplay, which means that when you're in a rank, you want to have the highest impact in that game as possible. You obviously want to play the best that you can do and have the biggest impact in that game so that your team comes out on top. And so with that, our fourth tip is to analyze your own gameplay, meaning try and keep track of all the times you've died or any mistakes you might have made and see why you made them and how you could have helped yourself make it. None of us are perfect, and even if you have hundreds and thousands and tens of thousand hours in this game, there's still more to improve in it. What I recommend is maybe trying to record your gameplay and looking back at it, or keeping a mental note of every time you die and maybe even writing it down. Analyzing your own gameplay will help you understand what kind of player you are and what you need to improve in, and thus having a greater impact in your ranked games when you fix these issues. See, now Siege is a team-based game, but if you're the type of person that can get 3 kills in 1 round, it's a huge deal and you could really help impact your game. So of course, the better your performance, the better the teams. And our fifth and the most important rule for getting out of a stuck rank in Rainbow Six Siege is that you might be taking it a little too seriously. And I know that is a huge contradiction, because what you're gonna tell me is, Bernie, I take this game very seriously, and one day I wanna go pro and I wanna play in esports leagues and I wanna win championships. So I am taking this game very seriously. And that's good. I'm happy for that, and I really hope that dream stays alive. But we have to remember how much work these people actually did put into this. These people at the highest level put thousands and tens of thousands of hours into this game. And not even Pro League level 2, but even levels like Diamond and Champion have tremendous amount of experience and hours into this game. For you to be frustrated that you're not hitting those kinds of levels without even having a 10th of their hours doesn't really make much sense. So what I'm really trying to say here is that if you want to hit a level or a status that someone took thousands and thousands of hours to get to, and you haven't even hit your 1,000 hours in Siege yet, it's not realistic. So what I'm trying to say is try and think about where you should be. If you're new to this game, you really shouldn't be aiming for a diamond level. I mean, it's a nice goal, but you have to think realistically here. So if you're frustrated about staying in a rank, you gotta think maybe you somewhat belong in that rank. Now, we can always improve and do better, but at the end of the day, if it seems like this is a level where you should be at, one of the best things to do is to just continue to grind out that level and get better. What you wanna do is be at a point where people are slightly better than you so that you customly get better yourself. So at the end of the day, if you guys are still new to this game, or you don't have the hundreds and thousands of hours that these people who at the top level have into this game, you shouldn't be so frustrated about what rank you are, and frankly, you kind of shouldn't care. Hope that makes sense. If it does or it doesn't, leave a message in the comments. But that'll be it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for everyone that stuck around and watched. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can hit that 1K sub goal. I would love that. And make sure you guys stop by the live stream sometime. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. From the other side, really. I got him. Idiot. I got him.